Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know, and that would be to invite everyone in. Listen, come on and be a part of our community. Come on and be a part of our tribe. It is the best. I know I keep saying that, but the reason I keep saying that is because it's true. Okay? And if you don't believe me, I tell you all the time, go in those comments. Talk to some of those magnificent people who make up this community. You're going to be impressed. And when you come out, this is what you need to do. Go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, that beast, that algorithm. I'm telling you, it's getting better. It's getting better. You know, it's so funny. Sometimes I'm winning. I get on a winning streak, and before I know it, it tosses me up in the air. It does. Also, y'all, I just want to give a big thank you to all the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Listen, y'all are doing a great job. So thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you decide to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, our super thanks button is over on the other side. All right, y'all, we don't have any shout outs, so we gonna get right to it. It is Labor Day weekend. I know y'all got stuff to do, but we still got to get our kikis in, and we got to get our messiness in, and we got to get our updates in. Yes, we got to keep a tab on what is going on with our faves. So let's get started. And y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, I have been in these streets today. I have been over to Blue Sky. I went to Instagram. I peeked in over there with Megan. I didn't see anything new unless she posted something since I recorded this podcast. So I don't know, but I always check in on our girl. I always check in on her. And I'm always going over there giving her love. So you do the same. And yeah, I checked in on the Instagram squatty, seeing what they were up to, what they were talking about, and mostly just dragging a whole lot of trolls that needs to be drugged, calling out all those rags who are just so disingenuous, and just really basking in the success of With Love Megan. Yes, I'm telling you, it is so good. The discussions that are coming down my timeline just absolutely gives me life. All the different episodes, how the squatties are dissecting them, and just absolutely just bringing forth some goodies, you know, things that you don't see. You'll go back to the episode and say, I didn't see that. Or I didn't hear her when she said that. And you go back to the episode, you say, yeah, there it is. She did say that. And you find the context of it all. It is just so much fun. It is just so much fun, y'all. I am enjoying it so much. Can you tell? And of course, y'all know where I always end up. Y'all know I always end up on X, formerly known as Twitter. I lovingly call it the sewer. And of course, I am one of the main squatties to be over there. I'm telling you, I consider myself a X, formerly known as Twitter squatty. And so I be over there in the mix. And y'all know I love it because you can really get messy over there. You can drag somebody over there and they won't put you in Twitter jail anymore. I used to be in Twitter jail so much. I'm telling you, I stayed in Twitter jail more than I stayed out of Twitter jail. But now they have relaxed the rules a lot. And I haven't been in Twitter jail since I can't even remember. And I have said some twisted and out of pocket things. I have. Y'all know me. When it comes to defending Harry and Meghan, it is no low that I won't go. I will throw a low punch in a minute. I will. And I'm not ashamed of that because, like I said, they be on the low road. I'm just down there with them. I'm just saying, I don't have no problem. Y'all know I have no problem wrestling a muddy pig. I don't mind getting dirty. And since that is the way I am, I spend a lot of time over there at Twitter because they will let you wrestle a pig. They will let you get dirty. And I love that about it. But I digress. The ex formerly known as Twitter squatties are talking about quite a few things. It's just a lot of people done reared their ugly head. Oh, Maureen is out here talking about how Meghan is jealous of Kate. Can you believe that? When I saw him with that nonsense, I cackled. I absolutely cackled. And where he got it from is just an old run through, worn out dish rag of a human being. And we're going to talk about that a little later. Yeah, it's been ran through. Yes, this heifer been ran through more than a tunnel at any sporting event. Yes, she is a dried up old toad. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a very interesting article that was written by Tom Sykes. I remember I mentioned it in my last podcast about how somebody has come to the conclusion that Diana was murdered. And yes, 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 it's Tom Sykes. Yes, you know that toady. You know Williams toady. And that might be the reason why he is expressing this right now, trying to get at Charles, because we all know it is a full-on war between Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace. And we hadn't saw or heard shots fired in a minute. But I'll tell you what, this is a bomb going off. Yes, when someone who is a royalist, who is a toady, who is a flying monkey, and one who always is taken up for that family over there is now saying that Diana was murdered and give the reasons why he feels she was murdered. Now that is a bombshell. It really is. It is flying under the radar, but boy, we need to hype this one up. So we're going to talk about that. And we have some other little things that we're going to talk about as well. I'm not going to keep you long, but boy, it's going to be good. Strap in because it's going to be bumpy. It might get a little bumpy, but I promise you it's going to be worth the ride. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. We're going to start with this. And looky, 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 Meghan is in the top 10 in Australia. This particular squatty posted this and said, US, Canada, and UK squatties, do you accept the challenge? What this particular squatty is talking about is a challenge going on between the squatties to get Meghan in the top 10 in the US, in the UK, in Canada, and it's already in the top 10 in Australia. Australia has done its thing, and we have to follow suit. I know y'all got a lot to do this weekend. Y'all probably having some family reunions or barbecues or something like that. But when you leave the television on in the den. Leave the television on in the bath if you have a television in the bath. If you have a home office, leave a television on in the home office and make sure it is playing with Love Meghan. Yes, you can do that. You don't have to stop your plans for us to absolutely put Meghan in the top 10. No, you don't have to do that. All you got to do is turn your television on. Turn it on at night. Let it run. Run the numbers up, y'all. Let's do it. Let's do it because we have been challenged. Now, I'm in the US, so I'm going to do my part. I'm just saying. So, if you are in Canada, if you are in the UK, squaddies, come on, y'all. Come on. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. Let's run these numbers up. Let's get our girl in the top 10. And all I can say is, I cannot wait. I am excited. We're going to do it. I know we are. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up. And this particular post comes from a squatty who was reposting this soundbite from this creator, and they were talking about this article that appeared in page 6. And the title of the article is Meghan Markle's Tone Deaf Second Season with Love Meghan Eviscerated by the UK Critics. So painful. Now, look at the title. Who do they name check in the title? That would be UK critics. Wonder why they didn't add any other nation. Not Canada, not the US, not Australia, UK critics. You know why? Because they are the only one carrying on this nonsense, pretending like With Love Meghan is not good. And it looks so disingenuous. It looks like sour grapes. It looks like that they are the bitter bitches that they are. And I just love it for them. I do. Because even here in America, when With Love Meghan season 1 came out, we had some people, we had some media organizations to come out with their nonsense, trying to pretend like it wasn't good and trying to sabotage it by saying that, giving it bad reviews. And I'll name check some of them. It was the Hollywood Reporter, the New York Times, it was Vanity Fair, and I can go on and on and on. And it's so funny that the ones who criticize season 1 is very, very quiet now that season 2 has absolutely been dropped. Their goal was to make sure it wasn't a season 2. And when a season 2 was announced, they faded to black. And they have been faded to black ever since. You don't hear none of that. The only thing you hear is from media organizations saying that it is a good show. And at least that's all I have saw over here in the US. But yet and still, we know the UK is never, ever, ever going to pass up a time to be bitter, bitter, bitter. And that's exactly what all of this is about. And this creator is pretty much saying exactly that. And the squatty that posted this said this, hashtag With Love Meghan praised by US critics, but no surprise, slammed by the toxic British media. Exactly. Exactly. They didn't jump on the bandwagon this time over here in America. I mean, even Variety. Y'all remember Variety? All of them. Like I said, I can name check so many of them. They absolutely went along with what was said by those rags over there. Not this time. Like I said, they're either faded to black or they actually give it a great review because it's good. Because it's good. I guess all the media organizations over here that criticized With Love Meghan last time, season 1, and I guess they decided this time to live by the old adage that if you can't say something nice about something or someone, don't say anything at all. And you know what? I can live with that. I'm okay with that. It's just saying something and then lying about what you're saying. Now that's what I have a problem with. Be quiet all you want to, Let the ones who want to speak up and speak the truth and say it's a good program, let those voices take the lead. And be quiet. Be quiet, Variety. Be quiet, Hollywood Reporter. Be quiet, New York Times. Be quiet, all of you that chimed in last time and you know you were lying. I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna put this up, and this particular squatty posted where BBC World actually did a weekly quiz about Meghan. This is what it says. Weekly quiz. What food did Meghan reveal Harry doesn't like? I mean, why? Why? Why do you bother? You pretend like you don't want to have anything to do with her. You pretend like she is irrelevant. You pretend, but yet and still you stay obsessed. This particular squatty said, my God, these people are obsessed. All I can say is, where's the lie? Where is the lie? And it's not just the rags, it's the ones who profess to be legitimate news organizations like ITV, like the BBC. Yes, those. They're just as bad as the rags. When it comes to Meghan, they are. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And Meghan said in that interview with Emily Chang that she understands that she is their meal ticket, that the Daily Fail and all those other rags, she is their lifesaver. Yes, you know that little blow up that goes around your waist to keep you from, going down the drain? Yes, because that's all they do all day, every day. They churn out article after article after article, trying to get some eyeballs, trying to get some kind of views in order to make money. And things like this right here. Look what this squatty has posted. This was in the Daily Fail. Look, let's go through it, if you will. It says the Daily Fail journalist selected and curated the products that features on site. If you make a purchase via link on this page, we will earn a commission. Yes, they'll earn money. It's all about money. They're always trying to make money off of Meghan when they got a whole family over there. That's what that family is for. It is for them to earn money off of. That's what they're in place for. They're there for tourism. They're there for promotion. They're there to be exploited in every form of fashion in order to keep these rags in business. I mean, it's the one hand washing the other type thing. It's the quid pro quo kind of deal that they have with the royal family. Harry and Meghan has no such deal. None. But yet here they are trying to make money off of Meghan. And then it goes on and says, season 2 of Meghan Markle's Netflix series has been released, and we can't help but to admire the Duchess's impeccable wardrobe. And it is that naturally, Meghan showcased a range of designer outfits and dazzling jewelry as she was joined by a number of celebrity friends in the kitchen. Yes, they showcased Meghan's outfit, not going to the designers, which is what Meghan is wearing, but these off-brand designers, what looks like something that Meghan was wearing. That is why I'm so glad Meghan did her shop, ma, because they have made money on Meghan's fashion for years. Well, ever since she came on the scene over there. We've saw it in the pages of this rag, this Daily Fail. Yes, they have been doing it time after time after time, year after year after year. And I just love it that Megan has her shop mind and she gets to make money off of her taste, of her outfits that she has chosen. These people, I cannot. And the squatty that posted this said this. Here we go again. Now they're after her clothes worn in the show that they say would not see the light of day. Shaking my head. Exactly. Yes, they criticize what she wear, how it's too expensive, how what her stack, how much that costs, all the nonsense. But yet and still, they're not above making money off of Megan. They say she's irrelevant, but yet and still, here you have her in the pages of your rag, feeling that she's relevant enough for you to make money off of. I bet you she makes more money. You make more money off of her than you do Kitty Cat, because I have saw now they make money off of Kitty Cat too. I see it in their rag as well, but them clothes that Kitty Cat wear are not relatable. Well, they used to not be relatable before she started copying Megan to the point where it's spooky. But yes, this is what they are doing, and they're not by themselves. Look, I'm gonna put this up. This is what the Telegraph is doing. Look down here. It says Megan's apple butter stewed in a slow cooker. This fruit spread is thick, jam-like, and easy to make. Yes, they're highlighting Megan's apple butter. You know, they try to gaslight us into believing that she's irrelevant. Everybody hates her. Nothing that she does is right. We don't want her back, but yet and still they consistently do stupid shit like this. They prove them their own self to be liars, because I've never ever saw so much coverage of a woman that is irrelevant, a woman that is disliked, a woman that has no skills. Now, let's not get it twisted. Now, it's a princess over there that description fits, but she's right there with them and they highlight nothing when it comes to her. But you also have to take in consideration she does nothing. She does absolutely nothing. So it's really nothing to highlight, except, every time Megan pop out, they might get something in a couple of days. I'm surprised she hadn't popped out too, because the last time Megan popped out, she came out with that summer video, and it was only two more weeks or so before fall. I mean, it was just so ridiculous and so unnecessary, but I digress. And I'm gonna put this up. This particular squatty posted this and said this: they hate her, then they copy her. Exactly. Exactly. And it said hashtag Megan is the icon. Hashtag with love Megan. They absolutely love everything she does, but they hate her because she does it so well and because it's not Kate. I said what I said. I believe that with everything in me. Everything that is Megan, they want it for Kate, but Kate does not have it. She does not have it. And it is glaring at this point. Her mediocrity is glaring. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this is a review from Vogue magazine for With Love Megan. And a lot of squatties are chiming in on this review because it asks a question. And as you can see, it says, With Love Megan offers easy watching, not hate watching. It pummels enough to have no snags, no irks. I don't know why people are still so riled. That question right there. I don't know why people are still so riled. And the squatties came in to answer that question. Now, I'm just going to feature one, but it was a lot of squatties came in to give them a little insight on why some people are still so riled. This particular squatty reposted this from Vogue and said this: it's jealousy and inferiority. Funny part is Megan is just a wife and mom who lives in the US and doing her thing. She's not part of the royal family, yet trolls are extremely obsessed with her. They just hate that Megan is gorgeous, happily married to Harry, successful, free, and don't need the royal family to shine. Woo! I could not put it better myself. There it is. I mean, it's nothing to add or to take away from that, because that right there is exactly why they are still so riled, because their life just doesn't measure up to Megan's, and they feel she doesn't deserve it. Is it because of the fact that she's American? I don't know. Is it because she is of African descent? I don't know. It, for me, it's all of it. It's all of it. It is just hardcore jealousy. And they know that they don't measure up. They don't. They know that they cannot measure up. And for some people, that is a trigger. It is. So I hope Vogue is a little more clear on all this nonsense that these trolls, these old ugly hags, these arrangers, these flying monkeys, all of these toadies and minions and smelly, smelly skanks, why they are coming into their comments with this nonsense, because it is about jealousy and inferiority. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty posted two very interesting things. I don't know if y'all saw this cover from US Weekly from Kitty Cat talking about she is doing the royal reset. And if my calculations is correct, this is what, about the fourth or fifth reset that Kitty Cat has done. I'm telling you, she done had about 3 remissions with her cancer journey and about 4 or 5 resets. I mean, these people really, really need to stop and saying how she's prioritizing her family and herself. I think that's what she says. She's prioritizing herself and her family and before royal duty. It's because she's crap at it. That's what it is. It's because Megan continues to show her up. So she wants to pretend like she's not even trying. And we all know she has a Pinterest board. She continues to absolutely study Megan as if Megan is her senior year exit exams. She's studying Megan just that hard. I guess over across the pond you would call it A levels. Yes, that's how hard she studies Megan, but she wants to pretend like she is not bothered at all. And we can see, yes, she's pressed all right. She is very, very pressed, because she wouldn't be walking around here trying to white single female Megan, trying to take on all of Megan's traits, even down to her hairdos, even down to her clothing. I'm just saying. But I digress. Let's go on to the other one. As you can see, it is from the Fail, and it says, should Megan ever be allowed to return to royal duties like Megan would ever want to? I mean, it is so ridiculous that we are 6 years on and we are still getting nonsense like this. Should Megan be allowed? Megan doesn't even speak on these people. Why would she ever want to return? It's the rejection for them. They have never had this level of rejection before. Everybody wants to be at the tippy top of society over there. And they ran into an American who absolutely could have cared less. She was willing to give it all up because she did not care. She didn't. But y'all know, I was thinking about this the other day. Megan is not the only female that left that family, that gave them the stiff arm around the same time. People don't talk about it, but Autumn Phillips. Yes, Autumn Phillips absolutely gave them the stiff arm. Now, Autumn is a Canadian, and she did not stick around to be a part of that family. She said enough was enough and she left. That is the reason why Peter Phillips is engaged today. It is because Autumn said to Lou, she took her babies and left. Now, I don't know if she still lives in the United Kingdom or not, but she is never, ever, ever around that family that I can see her. Autumn said, Autumn packed her bags and left by herself. Yes, she did. And so Megan is not the only one. A Canadian did the same thing. She said it's not for me, and she left. That family is nothing but toxic. It is. But I understand that Peter is not Harry, but and Autumn is not Megan. But I'm saying she got up out of there. She did. Just a little side note there. Megan wasn't the only one who absolutely made a break for it. She was not. And the squatty that posted this said this, laugh out loud, has it as if Megan is begging to come back. Exactly. I mean, they want her to beg to come back. They want to be wanted so bad. And Megan continuing to serve up dust plate after plate, it is killing them. And it's just making them more and more bitter. And then it goes on to say, look at them trying to make it seem like Megan needs them and not the other way around. Instead of shamelessly using her name for clickbait. Maybe Palace Confidential can focus on the so-called working royals who don't feel like showing up to work. Exactly. Can you really call them working royals anymore? Willie and Kitty? I don't think you can. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up. And y'all want to laugh. Y'all want to kiki. Look at this nonsense that Richard Maureen Eden is writing. It says, bitter Megan fuming over the public's love of Kate, says friend. And she doesn't stop there. Richard Eden reveals all. And y'all know who he is talking about. You know, these people are so pathetic. I think that's the word I'm looking for. So pathetic that they talk to one another, interview with one another, write stories about what one another have said. I mean, it is so sad. And the person that they're talking about is this dried up, run through, used up old dish rag of a human being, Lizzie Cunty. Yes, Lizzie, the one who doesn't have an original body part left on her miserable, sad body. Yes, Lizzie Conti, the one who has had so many nose jobs to the point where Michael Jackson would be jealous. I'm telling you, how she breathes through that little thing, I don't know. I'm going to put a picture up of Liz. Yes, this is a washed up Liz right here. She absolutely is scared to death because at the end of the day, she has been ran through more than all of the car washes that exist in the UK. I'm telling you, it's not a football player over there that hadn't ran through. Allegedly, I got to put that up there. Allegedly, Lizzie Cunty. Yes, and all she has left now is her bitterness, her hatred, her disdain for a woman who has done nothing to her except be more successful, more beautiful, more graceful, just more of everything that she is not. And that's the reason why she is so mad. And at this point, she's another one. Megan is paying her bills. How degrading it must be. How humiliating that must be. That's all that you have. Yes, Liz Conti, a worn out old bag of nothing. I'm telling you, her humiliation could not happen to a better person. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And Kaiser wrote about this article from Richard Maureen Eden, and that features Lizzie Conti's opinions, her trite opinions. I guess I could say that because we all know she is a bitter old dried up prune who absolutely is trying to make a living. And Kaiser said this, Cunty, Duchess Megan should take a leaf out of Kate's book. Now, I skimmed this article. I can't say I read it, but Kaiser went in. Kaiser absolutely let it be known that it's no book that Kate has that Megan needs to take a leaf out of it. Because basically, if she has a book, it's been copied. It has been copied from Megan. Yes, that Kate has nothing going for her except her Pinterest board of what Megan is doing. And she shamelessly copies Megan. And how these people can continue and pretend like they don't see it. And it's there for everyone to see. I mean, Kate is out in the wilderness now, looking at flowers, stacking her jewelry. And this is one of the things in this article that Kaiser brings up, how the Telegraph wrote this whole article saying how Kate, if you really want, it says how to master the art of ring stacking like Princess of Wales. When in actuality, the ring stacking came from Megan. Megan has been stacking her jewelry since forever. And Kate, not so much, but all of a sudden, here she is. Y'all remember when she stopped wearing her big sapphire, well, Princess Diana's big sapphire ring and started stacking rings on that? Yes, I mean, no shame, no shame. But Kaiser goes in, and like I said, I just skimmed it, and what I saw of it, very, very good article. Kaiser goes in and just pretty much talks about Kate, what page would it be? The one that's copied from Megan? How can you take a page for somebody when they have stolen the pages from you? It's ridiculous. But what was the funniest part, what I liked, was the comments that came under this particular post. And this squatty came up under the post where they're talking about how Megan should take a leaf out of Kate's book, this dried up piece of driftwood Conti was talking about. And this squatty came under that post and said this, ha ha, which leaf? Lazy, entitled, marble mouthed, ineffective, ineffectual, easily forgotten, married to a man who hates her, uninspiring, 100% dependent on a bald-headed asshat. Which leaf? Yes, I'm telling you, it was so many posts just like this. People wanted to know what leaf was that Megan needs to take a leaf out of Kitty Cat's book, because as far as we can see, all the pages worth taking are pages that she has copied from Megan. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, we're going to change gears a little bit here, and we're going to talk about this article from Tom Sykes. Like I said, I brought it up yesterday, and I wanted to bring it to the front today in this podcast. And as you can see, look at this. This is what Tom Sykes wrote. Why I believe Diana was murdered. Daily Beast Royal Expert. What y'all think about that? Tom Toady Sykes is saying out loud with his full chest that he believes Diana was murdered. Now, this right here is not jarring news because it's something new to the squatties. We've been saying this from what forever? Yes, we have said it time and time again. Every time Diana comes up, I know I say it, but it is a bombshell. It is a seismic shift because of a royalist and toady blind monkey like Tom Sykes said this. Now, this is my take on it. What is he getting out of this? Where is this coming from? Well, as I was thinking about it, I said, we all know that it is a war going on. It's the undercurrents. Now, it's not in full view of everybody, but squatties and people who've been paying attention knows that Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace are at full on war. And we all know that when William gets his cup full of salty tears, where does he take them? He take them to Tom Sykes. He take them to Tom Sykes, and Tom Sykes writes an article. He does. And I believe this is shots fired over the bow, over towards Buckingham Palace, towards Clarence House, because we all know that they've been battling all summer. And we hadn't heard anything from Willie. But the article popped up yesterday that Charles was going to see Harry. And all of a sudden, I believe somebody murdered Diana. What y'all think? Am I overthinking this? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I really think that Kensington Palace, I believe that William is at the root of this. And this is shots fired. But let me tell you, I read this article and he makes great points. Well, he makes points that the squatties have been making for years now. That is the reason why we've always been so concerned about Harry and Meghan, and why we were so happy when they were able to escape. Why we were so happy that Harry said that Meghan was never going to return over there without security, and neither was his children, because of Diana. We even named it being Diana. Yes, the squatties even coined that word, meaning that you could be murdered. Yes, you could be Diana. And so none of this is new except the source, where it's coming from. This man who is a royalist, who believes in the royal family, but yet and still here he is. And like I said, make great points because he said in this article, nothing that the way things are today would never be this way if Diana was still alive. Charles would have never been able to marry his horse. His horse could have never risen to the level of queen. The horse would never have been accepted. All if Diana was still alive. And what Diana said in that panorama interview, that Charles would not make a good king. And he said what she might be saying now, they just could not let that go. That could not. It would have brought down the monarchy. It absolutely would not have voted well for that institution. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. We have said it time and time again. And he, in this article, he puts all his credentials right in this article. So like I said, he's saying it with his full chest. But right at this time, most squatties are saying too little, too late. Where were you when you really could have spoken up? Where your voice would have made a difference? We are not even hearing that. But I'm going to put this up. And this squatty posted a segment from this article. And this is what it says. Don't forget, she said in her panorama interview that she didn't believe Charles was fit to be king. Well, I tell you what, that has proven to be true. And then it goes on to say, imagine if she were the one living in California and giving interviews to Oprah. Can anyone really imagine a Queen Camilla in such a scenario? Sykes told the Beast, I have given many years of thought to the death of Diana. No event has shaken more people or shaped more profoundly the future of the British monarchy. I know many people will disagree with me about this, but they should read my full analysis. No organization is more secretive and controlling than the British monarchy. It is time for open discussion and debate, and for all the facts to finally be told. It looks like Willie wants the throne sooner more than later. What y'all think? What do you think? And this particular squatty that posted this said, F Tom Sykes. I absolutely agree. I do. I do. Too little, too late. But like I said, I'm enjoying the war. I love eating my popcorn and watching the show. But the squatty goes on and said, the effing audacity to call Harry stupid, delusional, and paranoid, especially regarding Diana's death. See, when Harry was saying it's something fishy, that he had went through that tunnel and that was just a little bump, that it shouldn't have happened. He said he went through that tunnel in Paris at the same speed his mother did. That car did. And it should not have happened. And then all of the suspicious things that happened around her, like not going to the nearest hospital and a whole lot of other stuff that shouldn't, I mean, it looks fishy. But when Harry was saying that, this person called him stupid, delusional, and paranoid. And it said, especially regarding Diana's death. And for him to now say he believes she was murdered, he just torn Meghan to shreds about how she had to wear pantyhose. And here he is stating that the monarchy is, in fact, extremely controlling and secretive. Now he's calling for transparency. F these people. And I feel the same way. It's an agenda at foot. And like I said, I believe it has. Well, I believe that the future king is behind it. He is at war with the present king. And this right here is intended to be a knife to the heart, because we all know this right here is a huge, huge accusation. And we all know who, when something like this happens, who the fingers are pointing to. And all I can say is point them, because we at Squatty, I know myself, I have been pointing it and pointing it and pointing it. You can go back on all of my podcasts. I have several podcasts dedicated to saying that I believe this right here was not a natural thing that happened to Diana, that it wasn't an accident, that it was intentional. My belief. I've said it time and time again, and I can't tell you how many squatties have said it. This has been a running thing for us. No surprise. But I love that someone from their circle is saying it now. And I love the fact that they are at war. I love it. Popcorn, please. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. I am interested in knowing what y'all think. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty posted this picture of Diana. And this was just a little before her death. Diana was out there by herself, literally and figuratively. She was. And I'm telling you, it's heartbreaking to think all of this because Charles is an idiot. How does he live with himself? But I'm telling you, it has not been smooth sailing. Everything that he has fought to get, he hadn't been able to enjoy. And I just love that for him. But this squatty says this: every time I see this picture of Lady Diana, I pray Meghan never set foot in that firm again. Horrible people. Where is the lie? But I have a feeling that you don't have to worry about Meghan. Meghan is done. She's taken her last vow. She's never, ever, ever going to be a part of that firm anymore. Meghan knows what's going on here, and so does Harry. Now, do I worry about Harry every time he crosses the pond? I do. But Harry knows what's going on. Let's not forget that BBC interview. Harry said it is people who wish, who no, how did he put it? He said it's people who want history to repeat itself. Harry knows the stakes. When I think about that interview and all that was said in that interview, Harry knows. He knows. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said this: this picture of Princess Diana is one of the most heartbreaking pictures of her. And knowing now that the royal family worked in concert with the British tabloid media and sought to destroy its most famous princess and greatest asset. Exactly. And they did that with Meghan. They used the same playbook. I really feel that they were using the press in order to make Diana so desperate that she would unalive herself. And when that never happened, then they did it for her. And that was the plan for Meghan, and could be the plan for Harry. But we all know that it's a different standard for the ones who are blood. So it's my belief that Harry is not in as much danger when it comes to that family as Meghan is, because he is blood. He is of their blood. And that is, a distinction. But Diana was not, and Meghan is not. And Harry knows the playbook. He knows the playbook because they ran it on his mother. And you can see in this picture, they were trying to get Diana to get so desperate to unalive herself, like they were doing Meghan. We all know that Diana says she made several unaliving attempts. I think it was like 2. Correct me in the comments. I think it was 2, especially when she was pregnant. And then they did the same thing to Meghan when Meghan was pregnant. Yes, I'm just saying. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I absolutely believe that this is the same playbook. And when Princess Diana did not do what they had, set her up to do, they did it for her. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And one of the things that really, really makes me enjoy With Love Meghan so much, and that is seeing the joy in Meghan. And I love this particular post right here. It says, she is free, happy, and loved. She won. Yes, yes, yes. I just love it. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up, and I just want to remind you before I go, we are in a competition. I'm telling you, Australia has thrown down the gauntlet. It is up to the US, to Canada, to the UK. We got to come through, squaddies. Like I said, I know in the US, this is a long holiday weekend. In the UK, it's the weekend. In Canada, it's the weekend. I know we have things planned. The fall is coming. The weather is beautiful. Turn your television on your way out. Turn Netflix on with Love Meghan on your way out, and go enjoy your day of shopping, of going to yard sales, or going to different festivals. I know here in America and down south here, this is where we start having all the different kind of festivals. So yes, please, 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 let's run these numbers up. Let's get our girl in the top 10. I mean, it's so easy. All you got to do is turn your television on and go. And this squatty said, let's get With Love Meghan on everybody's algorithm and into the top 10. Come on, y'all. Let's do it. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Run with Love Meghan. Don't forget. Bye.